And Monday night, it's the Moomba Australian Cup at Olympic Park. And boy, is it worth a bit of money. $100,000 in all. And there's the cup that Andrea is showing to us. And with that cup goes a cheque for $50,000. Ron Hawkswell, the premier caller of greyhound races in Australia and secretary manager of Olympic Park, Ken Card, joins me as we look now at the 4 semi-finals, hoping we can find the winner for you. In the first semi-final, the favourite One
now,
Red.
The green light's on. Semi-final number 1 of the Moomba Australian Cup. Ready. Racing, get behind me, fairly away on the inside, and Blue Lightning away swiftly. So is Katandra King in the centre. Pomona Chief's back of the tail and was checked and out of the straight. Katandra King the leader. From Blue Lightning the outside. Timothy 2 out 3 deep. Behind them, get behind me, followed by Pomona Chief. Then Lead Light Lad, National Poppy and Tail of Zodiac. Coming up the back straight now, about 120 to go. Blue Lightning lost ground quickly, and the leader Katandra King about 2 to get behind me. 4 lengths Pomona Chief, it's Katandra King the leader. Get behind me on the outside, trying hard. Katandra King though, from Get Behind Me, 3rd placing National Poppy.
Second semi, the favourite, 6 Brown Acacia Park.
Acacia Park a bit slow, and Footrot Faust missed at 5. A crush up after the start. Smog City went to the rear with Idolize it out of the straight, and Smart Scott the leader. 2 lengths in front of Acacia Park going home well. Then Footrot Faust about 2 lengths Winston Lass. Then Wild Hope followed by Gavin Park. Well back Smog City and Idolize down the back, and the leader on the inside, Smart Scott, being pressured by the New South Wales Greyhound Acacia Park, who stormed to the lead at the 100-metre mark. Acacia Park drawing clear of Smart Scott and Footrot Faust, and Acacia Park is much too good. A brilliant win easily from Smart Scott and Footrot Faust.
Third semi, 4 Blue, Chariot Supreme.
Fairly away, and Kid Campbell came across the face of the field and jammed a few of them up. It's Tidy Top to take the lead from Black Spats on the inside. Wider out is Black Hunter turning out of the straight, and Chariot Supreme zoomed up on the inside to be 3rd. Black Spats the leader by a length or so on the outside. Black Hunter, Chariot Supreme 3rd, about 4 lengths further back as Eruption. They were followed by Proud Paul, Kid Campbell, and Tidy Top at the tail coming to the turn, and Black Spats the leader. Kicked out about 2 to Chariot Supreme, and Black Hunter the outside. But Black Spats will be too good. It's Black Spats about 3 lengths. Chariot Supreme 2nd. Proud Paul on the inside 3rd.
Final semi, One Red Tangan favourite.
Racing, National Star jumped away 2nd and 3rd. Colebrook Lad was slow. Tangan's the early leader, but National Star getting up on the inside is running 2nd out of the straight. Was checked off the heels of Tangan there and going to 3rd on the outside. Supermara down the back, and it's Tangan 2 lengths to National Star. 3 lengths away, Supermara followed by Eagle Hawk Star. Then Colebrook Lad, Confucius, Bowl Ranger, Merry Crispin last of all, travelling to the turn. 100 to go, and Tangan skipped away. 2.5 to National Star, who can't pick it up, and Tangan will be too good. Tangan by 2.5 lengths. National Star 2nd, 5 lengths away 3rd. Supermara followed by Eagle Hawk Star.
Well, there they were, the 4 semi-finals. Great calling there, incidentally, Ron.
Thanks very much indeed, Bill, and it's a pleasure to be here too, and it's certainly a great carnival there at Olympic Park. We had the elimination trials first off, and National Star recording a very smart time indeed of 30.07, and he went then to the quarterfinals and recorded the same time, 30.07, and last week we saw Tangan set the time standard on 30 and 45. But the final tomorrow night certainly going to be a great race indeed. There's a greyhound in the race called Smart Scott, which has got an abundance of early pace, and this is probably going to hold the key to the race because, as we said, it's very quick out of the boxes and might head straight for the inside rail, and those on the inside could be in a little bit of trouble, but well, it's certainly going to be a terrific race indeed. The final of the $100,000 Moomba Australian Cup tomorrow night at Olympic Park.
Now, Kenny, how many different states have we got represented? I know they were practically all in the eliminations. How many have got through to the final?
Well, you've got 2 from New South Wales, Bill, Get Behind Me, and Acacia Park. Black Spats is now owned and trained in Victoria, but was an ex-Sydney sider. And Katandra King is a South Australian registered greyhound and owned over there, but is trained in Sydney at the moment.
Well, there we've seen the interstate prices for the event, and it's a very open Australian Cup, and I suppose there's any one of 3 greyhounds could really start favourite in the race.
Well, Bill, you saw the semi-finals end. Chariot Supreme, Acacia Park were really fantastic runs considering the interference that they got, but you know, Smart Scott, as Ron said, is probably the key to the race. He's a very, very fast beginner. He begins well every time he starts. He seems to love Olympic Park. He goes well there. And I think if he jumps out early, he's going to go straight across to the rails and probably give the pink runner National Star and Katandra King the big opportunity of taking the race out. National Star's got an abundance of pace. He's proved his ability at Olympic Park with a sub 30-second run. and I'm certain that he's going to be the big danger. But the runs of Acacia Park and Chariot Supreme in the semi-finals on a rain-affected track were superb, and Acacia Park's here again improving with every run that it has.
All right, well, let's put you on the spot. If you're trying to pick a trifecta for our viewers, what are the three you'd select? Let's say a box trifecta. We won't ask you to put them in order.
Yeah, well, I'd be going for 8, 3 and 7.
8, 3 and 7. That's National Star, Acacia Park and Katandra King, 8, 3, 7.
Here again, I'm leaving out Chariot Supreme and even Tangarn. Tangarn is probably out of he and Black Spats, both the outsiders in the race, but drawing the yellow box has made his task difficult. He does go better from the inside, but who knows in these sort of races.
Right, now, Ron, what about you? You've seen them all, you've called them all. What are your thoughts on the final?
Well, I thought Acacia Park, Bill, he's gone through the series unbeaten. I think he's most certainly got to be the greyhound to beat because he figures in the times, the sectional times in all the series. And number 3, Acacia Park, New South Wales, doing everything right. I think he can take out the big cup tomorrow night. I think Chariot Supreme, who we saw in the semi-finals last Monday night, he drew box number 4 and ran second behind Black Spats. He didn't have any luck at all. He was squeezed up early, then took second placing down the back straight. And I think he's got to be a big danger in the race as well. And Get Behind Me, number 1, is also a chance in the race too. So I've gone number 3, Acacia Park to win, 2, Chariot Supreme second, and 1, Get Behind Me for third. Race number 6, incidentally, is the second leg of the daily double. Yep. It's also a TAB trifecta race and TAB Quinella race. But great race, and the cup is set down for 9.35, which is a little bit of a change.
Now, I know you do a lot of study over the weekend with your goal form guide, etc. Have you had time yet to get down to business and pick out a best bet?
Yeah, I thought later in the night, Bill, possibly going over to race number 7 on the card. I was keen about number 3, Gonna Fix It. It's certainly got to be the one to beat, I thought, in race number 7 on the card.
All right, what about you, Ken? Have you got a special?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what it was, Bill, but I think probably Kilmarnock's returning to Olympic Park after a little bit of a let up, and it's drawn the red box and probably a good each way
Kilmarnock
in race 5.
Okay.
He's lost his concentration because Andrea's here. Come over here, darling.
Well, have you lost your concentration?
No, I haven't, Bill. And Ronnie, that trifecta again, because you're a wizard with the trifectas. Give us the numbers again. He's red hot, this guy.
Right, we've gone number 3, Acacia Park to win from 2, Chariot Supreme and 1, Get Behind Me. I would like to add there has been a slight alteration, as we said, to the starting times of the races later in the card, particularly for telephone betting clients. From races 6 onwards, if you just take note of the alterations to the times. But great night at Olympic Park tomorrow night, Luke.
Well, we'd like you boys to celebrate the big cup tomorrow night with a bottle of Thomas Hardy Grand Reserve champagne. How about that?
Right, and Andrea, as you can see there on the front of Andrea's top there, it says the one you've been waiting for, and I think it refers to the Australian Cup.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Ron Hawkes.
This Monday night at 11 o'clock, be there at Olympic Park with 7 Sport for the running of the 1984 $100,000 Moomba Australian Cup, Australia's richest and most prestigious race, featuring the best greyhound spreaders from all states. The Moomba Australian Cup, be there. Seven Sport, the racing specialist, proudly present the Moomba $100,000 Australian Cup for Greyhounds.
As I mentioned earlier, nearly 400 greyhounds from all over the southern hemisphere were entered for the race, went through the elimination heats, then the heats, then the semi-finals, and finally we had 8 greyhounds there tonight before an enormous crowd, and I would think the tote holdings on and off course would be very near a record. A great crowd in attendance. Thousands of people actually stayed in the stands. They weren't interested in punting. They were there to see the great greyhound racing, and they certainly were not disappointed. It was one of the best finals of any race that I've ever seen, with at least 6 greyhounds out of the 8 having a winning chance when they turned for home. I won't tell you where the winner came from, in case you don't know the result. But it was a wonderful race, and so the scene is set now, and the greyhound's about to come onto the track for the $100,000 Moomba Australian Cup.
The first greyhound is number 1, the red, Get Behind Me from New South Wales. It won its heat in 30.14, ran second in the semi-final. The winner's time was 30.61. Number 1, red, Get Behind Me. Number 2 is Chariot Supreme from Victoria. It won its heat in 30.14, second in the semi-final. The winner's time 30.70. Previously won the Silver Chief Classic at Olympic Park. Number 2, Chariot Supreme. Number 3 is Acacia Park from New South Wales. It won its heat in 30.10, semi-final in 30.53. It's the winner of the 4X Trophy at the Gabba and the Christmas gift at Harold Park, 3 white, Acacia Park. Number 4 blue is Black Spats from Victoria. It was second in its heat to Acacia Park and won its semi-final in 30.70. Number 4 blue is Black Spats. Number 5, the yellow, is Tengen from Victoria. Was third in the heat to Pomona Chief, won the semi-final in 30.45, and I think there's a large cheer squad here from Frankston to welcome Tengen, number 5. Number 6, the brown, is Smart Scott from Victoria. Smart Scott won its heat in 30.37 after gaining a start as a reserve. It ran second in the semi-final to Acacia Park. Number 7 black is Katandra King from South Australia. It ran second in its heat to Pomona Chief. It won the semi-final in 30.61. And finally, we have number 8, the pink from Victoria, National Star. National Star won a heat in 30.07 and ran second in the semi-final to Tengen in 30.45. National Star won the 1984 Cranbourne Cup. Number 8 pink, National Star.
Greyhounds are being boxed now for the running of the Moomba Australian Cup. Get behind me on the inside. In box number 3, Acacia Park, Tengen in 5, Katandra King in 7. Even numbers Chariot Supreme, Black Spats, Smart Scott and National Star. Green light is on. Here's the lure now for the Moomba Australian Cup. They're set to go. Ready. Racing, Acacia Park began smoothly in the centre, goes out to second last though. Get behind me, the leader tackled by Katandra King, the outside. Smart Scott's third on the fence and National Star fourth. Going to the back straight and Smart Scott got up on the inside and took the lead from Get Behind Me, then Katandra King. National Star getting up on the inside from Chariot Supreme. Tengen running home, then Black Spats. Acacia Park is back at the tail, coming to the turn, 100 to go. And moving up on the outside, Katandra King. Tengen right on the outside, takes the lead. It's a local win. Tengen wins the cup. Second place in Katandra King. Get Behind Me third. Then National Star followed by Smart Scott. Black Spats further back in the field. Chariot Supreme and Acacia Park at the rear.
Well, a real thriller, the Moomba Australian Cup. Tengen, $4.65 and $1.25, a very popular win. Katandra King, $1.75. Get Behind Me, $1.10. The Quinella, $38.10. The trifecta was a big one, $873. And the unplaced favourite was Acacia Park at 7-4. Well, Premier John Cain handed over the $50,000 cheque and the place getters' cheques, and the King of Moomba, Mr. Kevin Bartlett, was in attendance, and it was Kevin who presented the trophy.
This magnificent trophy, the 1984 Australian Cup Olympic Park, won by Tengen. Congratulations. Thank you very much. I don't deserve it, I think the dog does. He trains himself, he's beautiful. In fact, I should have had my backside kicked the way I brought him into the cup. He was a bit overweight and he wasn't ready for it. But the dog being a champion, he came through. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Well, there he was, the owner trainer and some of the family there, dressed up in all the beautiful yellow and gold, which were the colours, of course, that Tengen wore in winning the big event. Now, the extra double tonight for 4 and 5 paid $5.65. And the daily double for 7 and 5 paid $83.90. Now, just again, I'd like to remind you about the big meeting at Sandown Park. There's no greyhound meeting at Olympic Park next Monday night. Instead, it will be at Sandown Park next Monday afternoon. Bookmakers and tote, something there for all the family, some special attractions there at Sandown next Monday, and, of course, all proceeds to the Children's Hospital. So we hope you can get along there. I'm sure you'll have a great day. Well, that's about it. It's been a very successful meeting at Olympic Park tonight, the $100,000 Moomba Australian Cup final. If you're interested, I hope you're back to win or two, and hope to see you at the Greyhound soon.